The road stretches endlessly beneath the old truck. 2 suitcases sit beside me, rattling with every bump. Dad drives in silence, eyes fixed ahead. Mom doesn't come to say goodbye. I stare at the window, counting the miles. Each one feels like a piece of me being peeled away. The fields blur into gold and green. I clutch my stuffed bear, its ear half torn. It smells like home, or what used to be home. Dad clears his throat once, but says nothing. When we reach the house, he doesn't get out. A woman stands on the porch, waving gently. "Hello, Lynn," she says, her voice soft. Her smile reaches her eyes. I nod, too afraid to speak. Dad lifts my suitcases onto the steps. "You'll be fine here," he mutters. Then he's gone before I can answer. The sound of the engine fades down the dirt road. Silence fills the space he leaves behind. The woman touches my shoulder lightly. "I'm Aunt May," she says. "Come in, sweetheart." Her home smells like cinnamon and bread. There are curtains with tiny flowers. The walls are painted yellow, warm and calm. She shows me a room upstairs. "This one's yours," she says. It's small but bright. The bedspread is patchwork, colors fighting for joy. A jar of daisies sits by the window. I place my bear on the pillow. It looks too small, too lost. Aunt May kneels beside my suitcase. She opens it slowly, as if afraid to break something. She smooths each shirt before hanging it up. I try to help, but my hands shake. "Dad says I don't fold right," I whisper. Her eyes soften, sad but kind. "There's more than one way to fold a shirt, Lynn." Her voice is steady, like sunlight through lace. I want to believe her. She places my bear in the center of the bed. "There," she says. "Now he knows this is home." Home. The word feels strange in my mouth. I nod but say nothing. That night, I lie awake listening to crickets. The window is open. The air smells of grass and rain. I try to count the stars. When I reach 20, the tears start. I cover my mouth to hide the sound. Aunt May knocks softly. "Can't sleep?" she asks. I shake my head. She sits on the edge of the bed. For a moment, neither of us speaks. Then she hums something low and familiar. A lullaby I don't remember ever hearing. Her voice is rough but gentle. I close my eyes, holding my bear tight. The ache in my chest eases, little by little. Outside, the wind whispers through the trees. Somewhere far away, the old house fades from memory. Here, the world feels slower. Softer. Maybe not safe yet, but safe enough to hope. The attic smells of dust and time. Sunlight slips through cracks in the roof. I climb the wooden stairs carefully, each step creaking. Aunt May said I could look for books up here. Old boxes line the walls, names written in faded ink. I wipe a layer of dust from one marked letters. Curiosity wins over fear. Inside, there's a bundle tied with blue ribbon. My name isn't on it, but I recognize the handwriting. Dad's letters. My hands tremble as I untie the ribbon. The first page smells faintly of smoke and ink. "May, we've discussed this many times," it reads. "It's best if Lynn stays with you after the baby comes." My throat tightens. The next line burns. "She's always been difficult, not like other children." Difficult. The word echoes in my head until it hurts. I flip through the others. "She requires too much attention." "Your home would be better for her." "Diane needs peace." Every sentence sounds like rejection disguised as logic. My chest feels hollow. I drop the letters, and they scatter like frightened birds. The sound brings Aunt May to the stairs. She sees the papers, her face falling into quiet sadness. "I hoped you wouldn't find those," she says softly. Her voice isn't angry, just tired. "They planned it," I whisper. "They planned to send me away before the baby." She doesn't deny it. She sits beside me, the floor groaning beneath her weight. "Your parents made choices out of fear, not love," she says. Her hand finds mine. I wanted you here, Lynn. I still do. Tears slip down my face without permission. I tried so hard to be good, I say. Aunt May squeezes my hand gently. Goodness was never the problem, sweetheart. For a long moment, we sit in silence. Dust floats between us like ghosts of old memories. I pick up one of the letters again. The ink smudges where my tears fall. They didn't even ask me what I wanted, I murmur. They rarely asked anyone, she replies. Your mother and father only ever asked themselves. Her tone holds no hatred, only understanding. She gathers the letters and ties them back together. Keep them, she says. They're proof of what was done, not who you are. Her words settle in my chest like a new heartbeat. I look around the attic, full of forgotten things. And I realize I don't want to be forgotten too. When we walk downstairs, she makes lemonade. The air smells of sugar and lemons, bright and clean. She hands me a glass. To new beginnings, she says. I nod, swallowing both the drink and the pain. That night, I hide the bundle under my bed. It's not forgiveness yet, but it's truth. And for the first time, truth feels lighter than silence. The years slip by quietly, like pages turning themselves. I grow taller, my voice steadier, my heart less afraid. Aunt May teaches me how to bake, how to plant, how to breathe. She says patience grows the same way flowers do, slow and steady. The house becomes softer, brighter, filled with sound again. Laughter echoes in corners that once knew silence. At school, I start raising my hand in class. My teacher smiles when she reads my essays aloud. You have a gift with words, she says, and I almost believe her. Every Friday, Aunt May waits by the gate after school. She waves like she's been waiting her whole life. Sometimes, I still look for my parents' car. It never comes. But the ache begins to dull, replaced by something steadier. One evening, Aunt May finds me writing at the kitchen table. What are you working on? She asks. A story, I say, about a girl who learns to start over. She smiles, sounds familiar. I laugh, and the sound surprises me. It's lighter than I remember. We celebrate my 10th birthday with chocolate cake and 2 candles. Aunt May sings softly, her voice trembling with warmth. No presents, no party, just peace. When I blow out the candles, I make no wish. For once, I have enough. Letters from my parents stop coming. At first, I wait by the mailbox every week. Then I stop waiting. I start filling photo albums instead. Pictures of me holding a prize ribbon. Me planting seeds in spring. Me grinning with flour on my face. Life grows, one small root at a time. By the time I reach high school, the whispers fade. No one calls me the girl who got sent away anymore. Now I'm the girl who writes poems that make teachers cry. The girl who volunteers at the shelter on weekends. The girl who knows how to fix fences and broken hearts. Aunt May keeps every certificate, every small victory. You're building something real, she says. Her words become my anchor. The world feels wider now, less cruel, more mine. I study hard, save money, dream of college. When I win a scholarship, Aunt May weeps quietly. Her hands shake as she hugs me. You did this, I whisper. She shakes her head. You did. Graduation night, the sky glows orange and purple. I stand on stage, clutching my diploma. The crowd blurs, but I spot her in the front row. Her smile steady, proud, infinite. When they call my name for the community award, I walk across the stage and speak without notes. We're not defined by where we begin, I say, but by who stays to help us grow. Applause fills the hall, warm and endless. Later, Aunt May takes my hand in hers. You've become everything they said you couldn't, she says. And in that moment, I finally understand. I was never the problem. I was always the promise. The phone rings on a quiet Sunday morning. I'm washing dishes, the window open to the sound of birds. Aunt May answers first, her voice calm and polite. Then she looks at me, eyes soft but wary. "It's your mother," she says. The air seems to freeze. I take the receiver with damp hands. "Hello," I whisper. "Lynn," she begins, her tone too sweet, too sudden. "It's been a long time. How are you?" I wait for the real reason. It comes quickly. "It's your brother, Tom. He's been difficult lately. We thought you could help." I grip the phone tighter. "Help?" I ask. "Yes," she says. "You were always so responsible. Maybe you could stay for the summer." Her voice trembles, but not from love. From need. Dad joins the line, his tone still sharp and commanding. "Your mother's exhausted. The boy needs structure. You understand." The words drag me back to the kitchen table of my childhood. The tone that meant obedience, not choice. I feel the old fear rise, but this time it stops at my throat. "No," I say quietly. Silence stretches like a held breath. "What do you mean no?" my father demands. "I won't come," I say. "I have a life here. I'm not your solution." My mother's voice breaks, desperate now. "We're family, Lynn. Families help each other." My laugh comes soft and hollow. "Family," I repeat. "You gave me away." Aunt May pretends to tidy the counter, pretending not to listen. But I feel her presence, steady as always. Dad sighs, low and angry. "You're being ungrateful, after everything we did for you." The old script again. I close my eyes and breathe slowly. "What exactly did you do?" I ask. The silence is louder than shouting. I hear my mother start to cry. But this time, it doesn't break me. "I'll talk to Tom," I say, "but I'm not coming back." "Just for the summer," she pleads. "Goodbye, Mom." I place the phone gently back on the hook. My hand shakes, but not from weakness. Aunt May sets a cup of tea in front of me. "You did the right thing," she says. My voice cracks. It still hurts. She nods. Courage always does. We sit in silence for a while. The tea grows cold. Outside, wind moves through the trees, whispering forgiveness. That night, I write Tom a letter. I tell him I remember what it felt like to be the problem. I tell him he is. I tell him that love isn't something you earn. It's something someone chooses to give. I seal the envelope before I can cry again. When I walk it to the mailbox, the sky is dark but full of stars. For the first time in years, I don't feel small under them. I feel free. The letter from Tom arrives 2 weeks later. The handwriting is messy, uneven, like he wrote it fast. "Hi, Lynn," it begins. "I found your address in Dad's desk." I read every line twice. "They don't talk about you much," he writes. "They say you didn't want to stay, but I don't believe them." My hands tremble. He's only 10, the same age I was when they sent me away. He ends the letter with 5 words. "I wish you were here." I fold the paper carefully and press it to my chest. Aunt May finds me staring out the window. "Someone found you," she says softly. I nod, unable to speak. That night, I write back. I tell Tom about the farm, the apple trees, the smell of rain. I tell him I used to think I was the problem. But I was. Neither is he. When his reply comes, it's full of questions. "What's Aunt May like? Do you ever miss them? Do you think they love me?" I answer every question, slow and honest. Weeks turn into months. Our letters become longer, braver. Then one night, my phone buzzes with an unknown number. "Is this Lynn?" a boy's voice asks. It's him. I hear nervous breathing on the other end. "They're fighting again," he says quietly. "I hate it here." I close my eyes, feeling the ache in his words. "You're not the reason they fight," I tell him. "You never were." We start talking every Sunday night. He hides the phone under his blanket. I tell him stories about the stars, about how to find Orion. He listens like he's memorizing my voice. Aunt Aunt May sometimes joins, her laughter gentle in the background. "Hi, Aunt May," he says shyly once. "Hi, Tom," she replies. "You sound taller already." He laughs for the first time. It sounds like hope. "One day," he says, "Grandma and Grandpa called. They want me to visit." I freeze, remembering their names from years ago. "They're kind," I tell him. "Go." A month later, he calls again, voice full of light. "I'm moving in with them," he says. "They said I deserve peace." I can barely breathe. He adds softly, "I told them I learned that from you." Aunt May wipes a tear before I can. When I hang up, I sit on the porch, watching the sunset fade. Their world is crumbling now, the lies cracking open. But I don't feel revenge. Only relief. Tom is safe. He's free. And maybe that's all I ever wanted. That night, the stars look closer than ever. I whisper a thank you into the dark. Not to the past, but to the people who stayed. And to the little girl I once was. The one who kept believing that love could find its way back. Gravel crunches outside on a quiet afternoon. Aunt May and I are having dinner, the smell of soup filling the room. She looks up first, her brow furrowing. "Are you expecting someone?" she asks. Before I can answer, I hear car doors slam. Through the window, I see them. My parents. Older now, smaller somehow, standing side by side. Mom smooths her dress, Dad adjusts his collar. My stomach twists, but my voice stays calm. "Let them in," I say. Aunt May hesitates, then nods. When the door opens, Mom steps forward with a trembling smile. "Lynn, darling," she says, arms outstretched. I don't move. Dad offers his hand instead. His palm is soft, unmarked by work. We shake once, brief and cold. "Look at you," Mom says. "You've grown into such a woman." Her voice cracks around the edges. Aunt May folds her arms. "What brings you here?" she asks. Dad clears his throat. "We've been thinking a lot. It's time to make peace." Mom nods quickly. "We've missed you so much." The words feel rehearsed, like lines from a play. I sit, motioning for them to join us. The sound of spoons against bowls fills the silence. Finally, Dad speaks again. "Tom's doing well with your grandparents, but this can't continue." He avoids my eyes. "We need to show the court we're a united family." The pieces fall into place. They want my help to win him back. "So that's why you came," I say quietly. Mom's tears glisten but don't fall. "Blood is thicker than water, Lynn," Dad says. He leans forward, tone soft but firm. "We're still your parents." I set my spoon down carefully. "You stopped being that a long time ago." Dad frowns. "We were young, we didn't know better." I meet his gaze. "You knew enough to write those letters." His face pales. "You found them?" "Yes," I say. "The ones where you called me difficult." Mom's lips tremble. "Those were private," she whispers. "So was my pain," I reply. Aunt May says nothing, her eyes steady on me. "You sent me away like I was a burden," I continue. "You never called, never came. Now you need something and suddenly I'm your daughter again." Dad's jaw tightens. "After everything we did for you." "What exactly did you do for me?" I interrupt. He doesn't answer. The silence is its own confession. I stand, my chair scraping softly. "I forgive you," I say. "But I don't need you in my life." Mom sobs quietly, her shoulders shaking. Dad looks away, defeated. "I'll support Tom living wherever he feels safe," I add. Aunt May rises beside me, strong and calm. They leave without another word. Their car disappears down the long road, dust trailing behind. I exhale slowly, the weight lifting at last. Aunt May places a hand on my shoulder. "You held your peace," she whispers. For the first time, I truly understand. Peace isn't silence. It's knowing I owe them nothing. Only myself. The ceremony hall, glows beneath the morning sun. I walk across the stage, diploma warm in my hands. Aunt May sits in the front row, her blue dress bright as the sky. Beside her, Tom claps until his palms turn red. Our grandparents smile proudly, their faces soft with joy. The seats meant for my parents stay empty, and that's okay. Their absence no longer hurts. It feels like choice. After the ceremony, we drive back to the farm. The air smells of summer rain and wildflowers. Tom helps Aunt May fold a quilt for his dorm room. Blue and gray, his favorite colors. She laughs, her hands trembling with age but still steady. Later, I find her on the porch, watching the sunset fade. "You saved me," I whisper. She shakes her head gently. "No, dear, you saved yourself." Her words settle deep in my heart. When night falls, stars scatter across the sky. Tom texts me, thanking me for showing him what love means. I smile, tucking my phone away. Family isn't who leaves. It's who stays. And in the quiet glow of starlight, I finally feel home.